Hello, I'm Jordan and you're not. And today this is going to be my review on The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Now, I'm going to be concentrating on the remake that just came out on Amazon Prime, but I guess I could kind of be talking about the original too because the remake is almost scene for scene a shot of the original, kind of like Psycho was to Psycho, but that one was terrible. The '98 version. So here's the original, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. It came out in 1962, and this is by Shout Factory, or Screen Factory, Shout Factory, for those of you that like collecting old, cheesy movies. So, I've tried numerous times to watch this version. So I turned it on, and I was like, I'm not into this. Then I turned it off. And then one time, I think I got maybe 2 or 3 minutes into it, and then I thought, I'll turn it off. Now, then finally, I think last week or so, I finally sat and watched it from beginning to the end. And it was good. And then the next day, I just happened to find out that the remake was finally on Amazon Prime, so I thought, you know what, I'll give that a try. And I think they did a really good job with it. It's a spoof of the original, but it's also a tribute to the original. So hold on, here's my little cheat sheet. The remake is directed by Derek Carl and it was written by Hank Huffman. Yeah, I'm cheating, sorry. And you had Patrick Green as Dr. Bill Courtner, and you have Rachel Perrell Foskett as Jane Compton, and you had Robert Blanche as Detective Mancini. Now, I know Robert Blanche, well, man, I don't know him, but I know him from the show, what was called Leverage. He played the detective of Bonanno. And then I heard that he helped out with a Friday the 13th fan film called Jason Rising, which, that's actually one of my favorite Friday the 13th fan films. So if you haven't watched that, check that out. It's on YouTube right now for free. So, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, it's this, I guess, a mad scientist. I don't know. I guess you could call him that. Dr. Courtner. He's experimenting with transplants and stuff like that. So like at the very beginning, he wants a patient's dying, and he's trying to bring him back his way. And then everyone's all, "How dare you? You're playing God. You shouldn't do this." But he's like, "I'm doing this," so he does it, and it works. And so he has his fiance Jan. Pretty sure it's Jan. I hope it's Jan. I think it was Jan in the pan. That's why it rhymes. So he's taking her somewhere, and then for no reason, he starts driving really fast. They even spoof that in this new one. Like, "Hey, you mind if I drive really fast for no reason, real quick?" She's like, "Okay." And then he starts, and then they have like all these funny sight gags of like all these stop signs, like, "Stop, seriously, stop. What's the matter with you? Stop it." And then they get into this big accident, and her head gets decapitated. All the way off. Just off. So he takes her head, and he takes to this place where he's been working on these experiments, and her head's still alive, and she's just kind of just a floaty, not floaty, just a head just there, kind of, "Where am I?" or stuff like that. So he has about maybe a day or two to try to find her a new body to match her head, and then to try to reattach her back, to the way she was. So he goes out at night trying to find. I think he goes to like not really a strip. It's like a nightclub, and then he finds, or he gets these 2 strippers or something, and they get into a cat fight. And then his assistant goes out, and he tries to find a woman. He's like, "I found you the perfect woman. Here she is." And he's like, "All right." And then she's a black woman. Jan's white, so a white head and a black body, that doesn't match. So that's hilarious. And then Robert Blanche shows up, and his scenes are real good. He plays Detective Mancini. I don't know if that's a nod to Don Mancini, who created the Child's Play movies. So he's kind of asking around, trying to figure out, the car wreck or the accident. Like, what happened here? So, to me, he was kind of like a spoof of Joe Friday from Dragnet, or just kind of that. He plays it like real cool, like real serious, but the way he does it is hilarious. So, yeah, Robert Blanche is probably one of him, and he's one of the best actors in the movie. Well, I'm not saying the actors are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that he sticks out to me because I know of him. And so while Dr. Courtner or Bill is going out, doing I talk with my hands. While he's going out looking for a body of a woman, there's a Jan in the pan. There's a door in her room, and there's a creature behind the door. You don't really see the creature. You just kind of there's boom boom, like you can just hear him, it or whatever the thing is knocking on the door, and she tries to communicate with it and talk to it, and together they're going to team up and have their revenge against Bill, because he's like, this thing in the other room is like deformed and stuff like that, and Jan's just a decapitated head, and they're gonna like they want to kill him basically. And the movie takes place, or it takes place in like the 60s, like 1962, like just like the original. And so I thought that was a pretty good job how they try to. I mean, you can tell it's low budget, but they did a really good job to make it look like it took place in the 60s. And another thing, I always like when someone's like watching TV in the background, and it's just like those cheesy classic, like the original Little Shop of Horrors, and they even had the original Brain That Wouldn't Die in the background watching that. And I think there's one other, but I always enjoy things like that. Just seeing movies, just like watching a cheesy movie in the background. I love that. So I guess that's about it. It's a tribute, and it's a spoof to the original Brain That Wouldn't Die. So I probably won't ever review the original. I mean, I never say never, but it's basically what I said now. It basically happens here. And during the end credits, they actually show side by side comparisons to show like how they redid that scene, or how which actor did this one, did that actor. And they added a few new scenes, or kind of to Bill's psyche, what's kind of going on inside his head when he's trying to look for the body for Jan. And they added on to the ending a little bit. They add a little bit more closure. It seemed like in the original they always just kind of end abruptly, and you're just like, what's going to happen? What happened? And so in all, I would give it a B+ for its type. It's good. So if you want to check it out, it's on Amazon Prime. So give it a watch. The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Not this version, the new one.